Hello, everyone, and welcome to TF Live TV's coverage of Pure League Season 2, Week 3. Is a matchup between Tiny Turtle and the Chad Foundation. I am Peter, we've got Cole on production, and joining me as the co-caster is Evie. How are you doing, Evie?
Hi, I'm doing really great.
Are
But
you ready for some hot TF2 Asia Fortress action? Well, it's not Asia Fortress. I don't know, I just call everything in Asia Fortress.
it's basically Asia Fortress, but it's a different name with different teams, and it's not quite Asia Fortress. But anyways, talking about the game, I'm actually really excited to watch this game because in my opinion, I think this is the most even matchup that we will see in Prem so far.
Oh, really nice. I saw I saw Tiny Turtle play against Hakuna Maitadas. I think I casted that with X-Tine in week 1. And since then, Tiny Turtle have not managed to pick up a single point. So, they definitely need something to get out of the bottom there. They're currently at the bottom of the table. And then meanwhile, on the other side, we have the Chat Foundation. They have won a single game. I assume it's a single game and they got 2 maps out of it. So, they're doing slightly better, but it sounds like, according to you, it's definitely going to be a very even matchup here.
Yeah, and also because that Tiny Turtle, this is, I don't have any evidence to back up my claim, but I'm pretty sure they have improved a lot tremendously since their first week. And the Chat
Right.
Foundation has always been their closest rival in their their most fierce competition. And it's only here that I finally see them going against each other in this third week, and I really am very excited to watch them because I do think that this is going to be the most even matchup that we will see in Prem so far. I'm really hoping that is very true.
Yeah, you never know, right? But I only have the week 1 thing to base it on, and you make a very good point when you say they could have improved because it's a pretty normal thing for a team to kind of form
Yeah,
right before the season starts, and then they kind of suck, and then they figure things out and they become a lot better, and they just
exactly.
make things work, right? So that could definitely be the case, and it definitely seems like you suspect it, but sometimes teams have an off day, or sometimes they just randomly seem to improve only to go back into their former self. So it's going to be kind of a question of can they prove that they've actually improved, or will they just continue to be at the bottom? Because if they lose this, there's basically no chance that they'll get into playoffs, right? Like they
Hmm.
need so many things to go their way.
Yeah, especially the fact that the competition in diff and in Prem is is really is really fierce. It's really close, but at the same time, it's sort of there's quite big of a gap between the first and second and third place teams because it's basically a difference of the best players in the entire league in one team, and then the best players but from a different region in then one team, and then everyone else, right? So first, second, and third is kind of a large difference, but then uh at the same time everyone else is just really uh they're they're fighting really closely for that third place title,
All right.
as bad as it sounds. But looking at uh looking at Tiny Turtle, you said that you've casted their game before once. Has there anyone that stood out particularly a lot more in your opinion?
I don't think Apple's played in that game. That's like the only person I really know. I think like Starbucks did pretty well in that game, and also the demo man Ghosty. Like it was really weird, right? Because he just completely dominated map 1 and was just doing so many crazy things, and then he just like got way out damaged by the enemy demo. And then on map 2, he didn't look very impressive, but he did way more. He top damage on that one. So I'm not sure what to believe, but I noticed Ghosty, especially in map 1, even though the stats say that he was better in map 2. So so what do I know? But he was really strong. But
Yeah, I do agree with you. Ghosty is a really impactful player. Him on Demo Man, he does do a lot for the team, and in some ways he also does control a lot of the pacing of the team as well, in how they push and also how they hold. But looking at the opposition, we look at the Chad Foundation. We can actually go through their roster real quick. Their medic will be Takuto. Their scouts will be Starly and Lego, and then their roamer will be Smiley. Their pocket will be Lurl, and the demo man will be Magoo. also Wabbit, colon 3. But in terms of matchups between class v class, I think that if anything, the most even matchup would probably be the pockets. I think Lurl and I think it's Death Star. I think Lurl and Death Star are the most even matchup of pockets right now in terms of how much impact they have and also in their performance and how much they contribute to the team.
I've definitely seen Lurl before, and he's very, very good. I haven't seen too much of Death Star, only that one game, and he did top damage on like the second map that I saw. So yeah, it doesn't surprise me too much. It was really quite interesting. It seems like there's some really good soldiers in this league, and it's like it almost like they control the pace of the game, whereas like in ETF12, as I'm used to, it's mostly the scouts that really determine how a team does. Whereas it seems like the soldiers do a lot of work with like Ubers and stuff like that. At least from the very limited things that I've seen so far. So I'm definitely looking forward to it. See if Death Star can continue his good form and if Lowell can live up to my high expectations.
Yeah, but on the other hand, on the polarizing part of it, I think that if there is an uneven matchup between the classes, I think it will be the roamers, which will be Smiley and Andre. It's not that Andre is bad. It's just that Smiley has been a top roamer for so many seasons. He's been a high Division 1 roamer in Asia Fortress for like 2-3 seasons at this point, and Andre, it's his first time playing in Prem. So if there is an uneven matchup, it will be the two of them. Not to undermine Andre's performance, but I would really like to see if Andre is able to just play out of his mind and just do so much more that he's able to rival Smiley's performance, because I'm so used to seeing Smiley playing out of his mind. It honestly just feels like it's normal at this point.
Right.
And if Andre can do the same, I think that it will be the most surprise I've ever gotten in Prem so far.
All right. So I'm curious. I remember seeing Andre playing, and he did a lot. He was pretty one note. He basically jumped in over and over again and got like a really bad KD, but a bunch of pretty good medic picks out of it.
Right? Roma life.
Yeah, yeah, pretty much. Is Smiley different in the way that he plays?
Well, Smiley does play quite selflessly as well. But the thing about Smiley is that his bombs are like telepathically. Well, that's not the right term. His bombs are just somehow so good. There is a joke that's been running in the scene saying that Smiley has a 100% success bomb rate, just like in the most unlikely events, in the most unexpected moments, he just comes up with something that just changes the entire game. We've seen it before in AFC, I believe AFC 14, right? Where it's just a stalemate on Snakewater last, and he's holding last, and then it's a stalemate, and it just comes up with a drop on the medic against Cell. It was just the most unexpected thing ever, and it's just something that he's just known for, coming out with this big plays out of nowhere at the time that he needs it the most.
Almost sounds like we've got a mini Seagull on our hands, right? Like that guy just had the best timing. That was really the thing that defined him more than anything. And like just the best roamers seem to just have this ability to just always somehow make the correct play and just randomly be in, right? It's obviously not random, but when you watch it, it does seem random because you somehow have your guard down and then they're in.
Yeah, it's like magic.
Yeah, exactly. It is really a magic trick, right? Because something is happening that's really interesting somewhere else, and then they're in. It's just they're extremely good at reading the comps and just the general situation, and they can just make it in. And it's really amazing to watch because Roma is, in general, like the worst class in sixes. But to see someone just work with whatever they have is just really great to see. And it's now something I'm really looking forward to here, because Sunshine, it's a map that the Roma can definitely do some really nutty things, right? Like it has kind of like process these really big jumps that you can do in, and then it also has these areas where a soldier is actually pretty strong because they're kind of enclosed and there's a bunch of walls. So you can play it a little bit more nuanced than you can process, where process you kind of just bomb in all the time. There's not too much going on where you just like play strong areas, whereas on Sunshine I feel like there are actually areas, like pretty small areas, granted, but they're so important that you can just kind of park your roamer in there, and he can actually like out fight a buff scout if he really wants to. So
Yeah.
I'm definitely looking forward to that. And then of course products is that's a whole different discussion. I think we can probably
Yeah.
save that for map 2, but that is that's a very different map from Sunshine and the
Yeah,
only
plus
cost
Sunshine
map.
has a lot of like random buildings and props as well, right? Like just looking at mid, for example, you have the tower on top of the point, you have Tetris, the you have the roof above cafe. It's just a lot of things that, if needed, a roamer can land on, and it's so much harder to kill because it's so far up the ground, right?
Yeah. Yeah,
So
there's
like,
also some pretty good rollouts you can do as a roamer on this map. Like most of them involve getting behind the enemy team, right? Like you jump into their flower. That's
yeah,
a very normal thing to do. Just jump way into the skybox. They look at you, you land behind them, and now they don't really want to chase you out because you're on like that small high ground, or they're running through a smaller choke, and then they just leave you, and then you come in afterwards. So it's
the only thing that I would honestly say that will be preventing roamers from doing that is the fact that Sunshine hasn't been played in Asia Fortress, or hasn't been played in Asia at all in quite a long
oh
time. It has been removed from the Asia Fortress map pool for a few seasons, right? So roamers might forget how to do the rollouts. Well, they wouldn't forget, but they would just not be so proficient at it anymore because of how long it has been out of the map rotation. So if they don't do it, we have at least that to blame. But I really do hope to see some really spicy roamer gameplay, because if anything, this is the map for roamer. But I think everyone is starting to ready up. I hope we do get to go live soon.
yeah, I'm sure we're getting there. Yep, looks like this is gonna be it. So week 3, we have one team that desperately needs a win. That's Tiny Turtle, and then we have the other team, which is the Chat Foundation. They want to prove that they are the better team. They have a win already. Now they want to make it 2. But it's going to be interesting to see how it matches up. We've already
Yep.
established that they should be very close in level. So take it away on this first mid, dude.
Yep. So now I'm gonna watch Megu, also Wabbit. He's using the quickie bomb. Um, Not something you see often, but might be really well in his favor for this mid because it's so open, and he's already doing so well. Ghosty is down to 16 health, and there's really not much a Ghosty can do other than wait for an arrow. But now Ghosty is also trying to aggress forward, but he gets bombed by a soldier. He's gonna go down. Everyone on Tiny Turtle is going down. Apples is 2 health. It's gonna go down. It's just the 2 soldiers. They're both just double digits. It's just a full wipe and a really strong start for the Chat Foundation in the first mid.
Absolutely. It was basically both teams just kind of had both the soldiers sit back and wait, and then at some point they jumped across middle and dive onto the enemy medic. And oh my god, why would I actually jump forward? I didn't even spot this. Takes down 2. See you later, boys. So that's going to be a huge advantage, even more than just an Uber. It's going to be a man advantage as well. So this is going to be such a strong push in here.
Exactly, and we do see them starting to walk in right now, taking advantage of the fact that there are no scouts in this last to prevent them from pushing in for free. And Dead Star's also going to go down, trying to salvage something, but that's going to come at the cost of everyone else's life. And that is the first round already for the Chat Foundation.
Yeah, really strong there. That was just a really good mid where their own medic survived. He basically did a really great surf away from everything, whereas the enemy medic died. And then they just got like that double sticky trap and they just completely snowballed it into last.
Yeah, nothing much you can do there when you're down players and you're down Uber and they're walking right into your last. But looking at this mid, we do see Ghosty also using the quickie bomb launcher, trying to do the same, but unfortunately goes down without doing much for the team. But as I say that, Takuto does go down, so there is a medic advantage for Tiny Turtle, but everyone on their team is just dropping. It's just Andre left alive. Cyan did go down during that exchange as well, so now Cyan is just stuck behind trying to spam rockets from far.
Can
But I
actually
don't
get
think
the
that's
medic
much.
here if the medic forward spawns, right? So they actually do need to deal with him, otherwise he's just going to get the medic. Alright, the scout has gone on to him, and they're just going to kind of back off, and now they've chased him away from potentially picking off the medic, so that's good. I think he actually just dodged the soldier there by accident. There's 5 players on him. He's eventually going to get taken down, and nobody else has actually gone in through the choke at all. Looked like it was just Wabbit just holding that alone, just peeking into seconds, just holding that. So that's pretty good teamwork right there, taking one down while having a player spot forward. So they're not going to get punished for sending everyone back to save their medic there. And now it's going to just be a pretty common stalemate. Never mind. Soldier jumps in to actually get the air shot. Really nice job there.
He tried to get something, but he couldn't get a jump. But the rest of the scouts were actually trying to help him as well. But while trying to do that, they do lose one of their scouts. The other scout manages to get out alive, but one man down for the Chat Foundation. This might prompt something from Tiny Turtle, and it looks like Death Star is really trying to find an opening right now. And yep, here comes that not so jump. He's just doing spam. There's nothing that he's gonna do. The scout's gonna respawn at this point. So it's just gonna be a stalemate on second of Sunshine.
Yeah, it looks like the roamer is that Smiley cheeseburger without the cheese. That's a good name. But yeah, he was trying to see if he could sneak his way in, but he actually got perfectly caught by the enemy roamer there. He actually got popped straight up into the air. That was just an air shot waiting to happen, but it did not happen, so he managed to get out alive. And now we're just going to have this stalemate, and very often we see teams jump in, 2 soldiers, right? So either just both soldiers go in for the suicide, or one soldier kind of loops back out, and then the other one comes in. So they've hopefully expended all of their ammo. But yeah, looks like soldiers will try to go in, but not going to find any luck there.
Yeah, I think Smiley's really trying his best to find some kind of opening to exploit or even punish. He does see players in Cafe, the medics in Cafe as well. He's gonna drop Death Star through that, and Cheeseburger without cheese also going to go down. Now both soldiers are down for Tiny Turtle. This is a very hard point to defend when you don't have the spam from those 2 soldiers. And now we should see Chat Foundation starting to walk in.
They've got 2 scouts in, and then they send in the soldiers as well, and they actually do get the force out. It's actually not going to be a force, it's just going to be an exchange, and they actually lost 2 players in that exchange. So this isn't as good as we might otherwise think. Medic does manage to get out alive, but the spawners are actually way superior in favor of Tiny Turtle.
Yeah, as much as they wanted to get a good push, unfortunately they beefed it by just a little bit, and they lost 2 players. And they're also going to lose the demo man right now, Chat Foundation. But looks like they will try to hold it anyway. They are still quite close to that choke. And well, they did lose one of their soldiers as well. Everyone on Tiny Turtle is just so low, they're having to back out and wait for arrows.
They were just all caught in that choke, and the huge bomb in from Smiley just completely shuts that down. They were trying to walk over those stairs, but he just landed right on their heads and just gave them all like a fat 112 damage. It's actually just going to cause everyone to go back. They're not even on second right now. If they just realize that Chat Foundation, they can just walk all the way, and it looks like they have realized it just in time. And they have managed to just lock down all the chokes, and so just a bit too aggressive there from Tiny Turtle. It gets punished, and then all of a sudden they lose second.
Yeah, just goes to show that how much of an impact that spam can make. Just because you lost players and then they're starting to walk in the choke, 2 rockets spamming the same choke can do so much to the team that they just end up not being able to walk in, even losing the demo man right there. So now they basically got second for free just because of that spam. Now it's just gonna be a stalemate from second to last. I don't think we're gonna see much happening right here, but looks like Chat Foundation are starting to walk into lobby, trying to get some space, and Cheeseburger without cheese going down really low, but because of that aggression, they do lose a scout, Chat Foundation, and now 1 player advantage for Tiny Turtle. Will we see anything from Death Star? He is jumping in.
Oh, popped the medic up. Oh, I think he got airshot himself. He was going for the big medic airshot himself, but didn't quite have time to shoot that final rocket there. But a good try. That was obviously a counter sack coming in there. And we even saw the scout that died, Asiper. He's going to go for the sniper play. And yeah, it's just people, they are bleeding right now. They're trying to just make things happen and trying to work it out. See if they can get a pick somehow. But so far, no real luck. Let's see if the sniper can do anything differently.
Yeah, and Tiny Turtle are actually playing quite aggressive and far forward. The demo man is in lobby. If anything, okay, they're walking back to last, so looks like they're just gonna contend with the stalemate. And as I say that, they lose their demo man, and he immediately gets another headshot on the soldier as well. So that's the opening. The scout's gonna try to get in and clean out the frags. Now everyone is here. They're gonna force out the Uber onto that 1 soldier who is so low. He's 26 health. He has to run back to spawn. The Uber is wasted on nothing but just bringing that soldier back to the respawn. Now full Uber ad for the Chat Foundation. They're gonna use it into last. They don't get the soldier. He gets arrowed just in time to be safe. But the headshot coming out. My god, everyone is just dropping. Now tinyturtle are going to lose that second round.
Yeah, Azipur just really going huge there on that sniper. That was really impressive, gotta say. That was so much work done, and also just like he got the demo man, obviously a lot of space for that, and then he got the soldier as well with the headshot. He didn't die, but the scout ran in with a soldier as well, I think, and they just got the force out and then just backed out perfectly and just came back in. Really
oh man, what a 1v1. Cheeseburger without cheese, actually trumping Smiley with that, basically an air shot, although it was like 2 feet above the ground. But not good enough because they actually end up losing the mid. It was a really fast exchange, so sure, but 3 down for tinyturtle, they had to give up mid, and I think they're just gonna have to hold second at this point.
Yeah, just continue to be completely unable to actually win these mids. The medic even has quite a bit of an uber disadvantage right now, and that's just because he didn't quite manage to link up with players as well. Looks like they are going to be able to hold second though. We saw Chat Foundation, they were kind of peeking in there, just seeing if they could get any space, but they weren't being given any, so they just ended up backing off, and now we're going to be in the stalemate situation. Actually, a soldier going to jump in. Deadstar, see if he can go for the medic pick. He's unable to do so. And now the counter-sack coming in, but look at that. The blue medic just running rings around the point, completely just tricking that medic out. That was really nice. So both soldiers down.
Yeah, they did try to get something, but none of them get anything. So now we do see a 2v1 on Valley right now. Spikey's gonna go down really low. Andrew does come in to help him, but now it's just a full-on DM fight right here with no heals. And Cheeseburger without cheese going to go down in attempting to help his scout get out alive. And 1 player down for tinyturtle. We might see something again from Chat Foundation. And Smiley is bombing in. He does fail his jumps though, so...
Oh, who put all those walls there? Look at that, they're so in the way. Very well.
Well, he didn't die, so...
That's true, that's true. He meant to do that. Just making them think that he can't jump, and then all of a sudden he's just going to fly into the medic's face. But I actually really like the blue medic's positioning right here. Right, because like usually people don't expect the medic to be right here, and until they scout it, this is actually a really good spot because the soldier will jump in really quickly and he'll be on the left side of the big lighthouse, and it's very difficult. Yeah, like that, right? So you kind of see he jumped in all the way there.
He was 7 health. Did you see that?
Yeah, that was close, man.
That was a really good milk right there. That crater could...
Oh,
the crater was a gamble.
Yeah,
but
Cheeseburger without cheese, he got air piped there. Actually got air piped into the enemy team, but he was so low that he got chipped down by the scouts as well. So both teams just sending in soldiers one by one. It looks like they might have to come up with something a little more creative at this point.
Yeah,
otherwise
we're just doing the same thing. It's the same thing for like 4 minutes at this point. Smiley's gonna do 1 more bomb, but this time not even getting a single point of damage. So now we're gonna see Cheeseburger without cheese. Probably gonna do the same thing as well. May or may not fail this time. He's in choke, he's ready to bomb. He gets scouted out by the scout. But yeah, he's using his rockets not to bomb. So it's gonna be a full reset. It's just a stalemate, guys. I don't know what to say, it's sunshine.
Yeah, if tinyturtle aren't able to actually punish them for losing a player, that means that you tend to just give the Chat Foundation infinite time to just try to go for these players, right? Because they can just sack a single player and that's going to be fine. Actually, they're going really far aggressively here with the scout, and what they pop? That's such a weird pop, and this is going to be really bad. Oh no.
Yeah, well, they do lose their scout as well. Asper's gonna go down. Now 2 players down for Chat Foundation, and they have full loot with this set. If anything, this will be probably a free mid for tinyturtle, and they're just gonna walk in and claim it as it is their land. Yeah, Ghostie's already locking down the chokes, preventing them from refighting. But as I say that, the soldier, Smiley's gonna bomb in, try to get something, but that's basically a feed, you know? He didn't really get much, and the scout also going to go down. Yeah,
that's the only, and the scout was able to clean up on it, but yeah, that's the only thing they got out of it. And You know, when I said they had to get more creative, I guess they did do something new, but yeah, that Uber pop was really questionable. I don't even think the scout was that weak, and obviously the medic was nowhere near close. So it's just going to be second cap here, and if they're really fast, they can actually get into last with an advantage, but they're going to have to really hurry here. And there's
Yeah,
even a pyro.
the lucky thing for Chad Foundation is that medic didn't die at all, so he was able to retain basically his Uber, and it's even, right? And
Yeah.
but you have to remember that, well, Tiny Turtle went from 100% net to basically 0, so it was a really good job Takuto for surviving there to prevent them from being rolled straight into the loss. And it's just gonna be a classic stalemate on Sunshine last. But there is a sniper for Chad Foundation though. So with them constantly opening this shutter, Tiny Turtle might find themselves getting headshot or just body shot.
I mean, it worked
And-
before,
Yeah.
so we know
Last
he's
time.
capable of it. But it's a lot more difficult to snipe out of last than into last, in my opinion. It's a lot less to work with. You have to, you know, basically go out to these doors and have someone open the door for you, and if they open the door, they're going to be pretty exposed. But yeah, he's found his angle right here. Gonna get
Yeah.
just immediately spammed out. So yeah, so
Yeah, and
far,
if you die, you get punished so hard, right? Because of the respawn. But we do see Spiky actually going to go an off-class to Sniper. So now we do have a proper Sniper and Sniper v Sniper duo on this last. Seeing if Spiky can get anything off of this off-class. He is fully buffed looking into lobby right now, but no one's there. Fortunately. If only somebody was a bit more aggro this time, but looks like everyone's just gonna be satisfied with just holding last properly inside last.
yeah, if they don't realize there's a sniper, they definitely don't realize. Like, this soldier is just standing still almost.
They do.
Okay, now
The scout.
well, now they definitely
did-
know.
Did I
Spiky
just?
is-
Yeah. I just lagged. Anyways. Spiky going down, I think. And
Yeah, he got
Smiley.
taken down by the sniper. So pretty calm with theirs. And then the soldier just goes for the counter sack immediately after, just to see if they can make anything work.
Oh, Luro going down really low. He's 5 health. Oh, he almost goes down. That could have killed him, but oh my, that should have not been a trade. Well, Cheeseburger without cheese actually picking up that demo man as he was caught out of position, but Asper coming with the clutch headshot to pick him down. But he did go down himself as well. And just as to say that the opposing sniper also goes down, but this time Ubers are popped up for both teams, and it's just an exchange for both sides. But there's a heavy for the Chad Foundation, so there's not really much a Tiny Turtle can do without the Uber to kill that 450 health Russian man, just revved up and just mowing down everyone. Now everyone just has to go to get out of this last point. Other than Cheeseburger without cheese, he's standing on that weird bridge, but it does get spotted out by the Chad Foundation, and it's a failed push by Tiny Turtle, and Chad Foundation will be pushing out.
Oh, Wabbit actually did go down there. Just a single scout soloing him. That's a bit unfortunate. And now a second scout has come out here. This is a very unorganized push. Soda comes in from behind though. Actually does a lot of work, but that could have been a lot better for them. And I think they will be able to get this second point here, but we can see Cheeseburger without cheese. He's hiding, so he's getting ready to perhaps jump in there. I think he's waiting and hoping for like his demo man, Ghosty, to maybe go in and help, but he's just going to be hiding around this corner, and there will be people. Oh my god, look how close they are. Oh, but he didn't spot them, and he's going to get taken down.
Oh, that was close, but he did get arrowed. So
Yeah.
So while full Uber ad for the Chad Foundation as they try to walk into this mid, they are going in from Valley, and looks like they're gonna get in for relative ease, but they do get forced by Death Star, a bombing soldier coming from all the way on the tower. Takuto pops with that 100 health. He wasn't. He may not have needed to pop, but well, the players for Chad Foundation just looking to salvage this right now. Everyone just rushing into second where they hold, just trying to get something, but not really much that they can do. It's just Smiley and Asiper left alive. Spiky did try to go in alone though, and he gets caught out of position and taken down. So now 2 players down.
Oh, they
Tiny
actually got
Turtle.
mid.
Oh, well,
This is actually pretty huge. That's going to slow the enemy team down a lot. They're going to get better spawns as well. This could open up the door to perhaps recap mid here and contest it. but the soldier jumps into choke. He actually gets taken down immediately, and then this guy, yeah, mid has been capped out, but I think the fact that the medic went down here is going to allow this to actually recap it, but this is so scrappy right now.
Yeah, Cheeseburger.cheese actually coming out at the last moment there to pick up the medic. So now the both medics for both sides are traded out, and Smikey's actually going to come up on top of all of that to clean up everyone on mid and claim it as his own. He's now going into second. He sees Smiley in his sights, but he doesn't really need to do much since Smiley is already out of that fight. And tinyturtle just gonna get second off of that really, really messy fight.
I think every single person died at some point, right? And then they just kind of slowly funnel back in as respawners. That was a very, very scrappy and close fight for sure. It's, no one was safe on that one. And is this going to be a small Uber advantage right now for tinyturtle? I don't know if they realize, but you know, oftentimes
I think they do.
Yeah, they're definitely positioned in a way that looks like it. And I do love going for these dot pushes, and yeah, that's what they're gonna do.
Well, the thing is that they don't know where the sentry is, and it's such an unconventional spot. It hasn't even went down yet. That is a spot that can kill people easily. And Death Star is gonna be one that falls prey to that. Ghosty also going to go down. And everyone's just dying because they just didn't... They just died to that sentry, and it's just Spiky left alive in lobby. Trying to get something. He's on the 1v1 against Megu. He's trying to get the shots, but he doesn't hit them. Megu 42 health, but he's gonna win that 1v1. And tinyturtle just losing that last push.
They were probably wondering, man, our rocket jumps in are super nice. When did I get so good at rocket jumping? But they're actually just being pushed by the sentry gun, right? They didn't realize it. They're not going to go in super aggressively up top here. They actually get piped, like, I think goes into like 3 pipes on that poor soldier. Gets taken down immediately. So medic goes down as well, so this has gone completely horribly. And as long as they just play around their medic, this is going to be an easy pushback from tinyturtle. They held this mid extremely well. And Rapid might even go down as well. Like, he's so weak, yeah.
He gets caught out. It's just Jane who makes it out alive, but there's not really much he can do as a single scout against the entirety of the enemy team. So they did do a really good defense to push out of last, but just pushing in the mid was how they lost. So now 60% Uber advantage for tinyturtle. They are already walking into last, even though they don't even have the Uber. This might even prove disastrous for them. Death Star does go down, but not without trading out with Smiley. And oh my, everyone just died.
He's even gonna continue in it. Oh, he gets 4. What a monster flank. Who is Pole up here? Who's that?
That's Lurl.
That's Lurl. Yeah, Lurl just completely crushed that push. Got 2 on the right side, and then just doubled back around. They saw him coming. It didn't matter. He just took them down anyway. Really great job by him. He just curb stomped that push. Now they're going to come in here and see if they can get mid. They should be able to do so. There's only 3 alive. And they're actually being very aggressive right now. They do have a medic and 2 scouts. That's a very mobile combo that can get out pretty easily, and they do manage to get out indeed. But they're still going to be at an uber disadvantage. They're going to lose this middle, and now it's going to be a matter of how do they hold this second. Can they force out the uber? Can they retreat in time? It's going to be all very poor for them if they can't do it. And here comes
Soldier's going to jump in from nowhere. Does bring Takuto down to 9 health. He pops out just in time, but they really wanted to use that Uber into last man, and that was a really good job by one of the tinyturtle soldiers to force out the medic. I believe that was Cheeseburger. And so now everyone is just really low inside lobby. Takuto is just on arrow duty trying to keep everyone alive. He does keep everyone but the scout alive though, but the big thing here is they do have a really big Uber disadvantage. tinyturtle have 100% Uber while Takuto is at 50 right now, and they do look like they are gonna try to push out. And tinyturtle, they are in lobby right now. They're opening the shutter, just walking out. This seems like a really clean push out, and yeah, everyone on Trap Foundation just leaving second, and that's a really clean push to claim second by tinyturtle.
I'm very surprised they got through that shutter door so easily. That's usually the big hurdle that you have to get through, right? That's like sticky, and there's the 2 soldiers standing there spamming. But no, they just got through it really easily, and it seemed like the Chads were just really willing to just let it all go. I think it's just that they don't want to take any chances, really. Right, like they're ahead 2-0. There's only 7.5 minutes remaining. They're kind of good. Just kind of let a few points go. If they can just slow things down, get back into a stalemate right here, I think they're pretty happy with things the way they are.
Yep, but tinyturtle do not look like they want to slow things down. They are really aggressive in Cafe. Just the entire combo is right here. They're trying to get something, but there's no one in Cafe to die. But Smiley, in some way, just goes down, and so that's gonna be an opening for tinyturtle to work on. But everyone is so low for their team. They gotta wait to heal up, and that's gonna waste the time they need for this push.
No waiting here.
Ooh,
nice, sir.
That was a really good bomb onto Takuto, but Takuto doing the better play by surfing away. So nothing for tinyturtle, and if anything, they have to be nervous at this point. They are down 2 rounds, and it's barely under 7 minutes remaining. And Chad Foundation are actually aggressing in the valley. They do pick up Spiky, and now a huge bomb by Smiley coming from way above. Doesn't get any rockets onto Cyan though, so not anything off to push off on. So now it's just gonna be a trade-off, one player from both sides, and it's just stalemate again.
It was a bit unfortunate that he actually overshot the medic. This happens all the time, right? Where you jump in super aggressively, and then it turns out your target was way closer than you thought, and then you're kind of like, oh no, how do I break without looking like an idiot and falling straight down and getting a shot? You kind of have to like do some weird pirouette. But second soda bomb's going to come in here. He's been contained really effectively right here. Now will we see the counter sack? We will indeed. So medic, big surf, gets away. And it's just these continued soldier sacks that just continues to be traded away. And yeah, time is ticking, man. It's under 6 minutes now.
Yeah, it's just the same theme the whole time. One soldier dies, and then the other soldier bombs, and then gets one rocket, and then dies, and then repeat for the other team, and repeat until somebody loses. It's just it's just Sunshine second, man. As fun as this map is for a roamer, second is just so bad for them because of all these walls and all these fences. But if anything, this is in the favor of Chad Foundation because, well, if tinyturtle want to sit back and lose, they're all okay with that. But as I say that, everyone's going down. It's 3 up for Chad Foundation, and they are stuck.
They get so much damage onto the demo man.
Oh,
yeah, this is really good. It's just a medic and a scout. They're going to have to force out the Uber and get out alive. They got the first part done. Can they get out alive as well? They've actually split up. That's a bit weird there. But okay, they actually did it. They salvaged that situation beautifully because if they don't get that Uber force and get out alive, they are completely dead in the water. They're just going to lose last for sure. As it is right now, there's still one guy down. They just got the spawner and they're going to be able to hold on to it. So we're kind of getting ready for another stalemate situation, unless we want to see just a drive who's coming in here. Yeah, Soda just jumps in looking for the medic. So it looks like they are just content with just building this Uber up. They don't have to panic yet, but you know, time is still ticking.
Yeah, well, the really scary part about this is that the tinyturtle basically spent 3 minutes just to gain 1 point, right? They just went from mid to second. There's 4 minutes left in the map. And they have to win 2 rounds to even this out. This means they have 2 minutes per round. And 2 minutes per round is basically nothing, right? It's like 3 Ubers. So if they really want to have a chance at tying this up, then they really need something right now. Because otherwise they're just gonna end up losing 2-0 to just a stalemate. And with this sniper that they're going against of Asiper, he's really gonna deter a lot of initiative.
This heavy being so aggressive, I don't like this at all. He's gonna get taken down. 2 picks. They just gifted this in, and this is gonna be a push for sure. That was very aggressive, and with the time limit being the way they are, that's a very questionable move. And everyone's just in right now. They're just going behind as much as they can, and even get down rapid as well. What a throw from this team right now. They're gonna lose this last for sure.
Well, everyone's just trying to stall out. Everyone on Chat Foundation is just going onto this stall process to try to stall this out. Oh, that heavy was surviving for so long. If he had survived for just a few more seconds, he would have 3 respawns, and that would have been the hold. But tinyturtle doing really well to just take out that heavy in time, and so they can win the round. 3 minutes left to win 1 round to tie this up. That's very doable. And looking at this mid, I'm gonna look at Ghosty. He does take a lot of damage this mid though, but he is doing his job and trying to lob stickies across the map to do damage. Getting bombed by 2 soldiers, well 1 soldier, but that soldier does bring him down to 1 health, but nothing else. And during the exchange of that, everyone on Tiny Turtle is just aggressing but going down so low. But does it really matter if everyone in the Chat Foundation is just going down and dropping like flies? It's just 3 players up alive, but they are stuck in second and they are backing out. So this looks like a clean push into second by Tiny Turtle as well. If anything, it looks really good for them.
And it's a good time to start actually winning mids. Gonna be a big bomb in here from the Soda. Gets the medic in the corner. He's so weak. Actually gets followed up on. Really huge bomb in there. I don't think they were expecting this at all. And the Soda even gets mid-air arrow there, just saved as everyone goes in there. So that's a huge round save for sure. Just these roamers in the pocket, just bombing in such a good play. And they even managed to get down some more people. And yeah, it just looks like a single Soda is going to come and see if he can save it. There's actually a scout behind as well. They're just funneling in one by one, and they're just being taken down in that order as well. So
that
now all
bomb,
of a sudden, yeah,
that bomb by Low coming all the way from downtown may have even just saved them this map. Considering that the fact that they were down players, they were down they were like on the back foot, backing out into last, and just comes out of nowhere and just brings down the medic when he was at 91%. That was a salvage if anything. And so now Uber advantage for the Chat Foundation right here, and this is not looking very good for Tiny Turtle. They are on the back foot right now. There's 1 minute left and they're losing all their players. But Spiky bringing down Wabbit, so that's something that they can brag about. But honestly, at this point, does it really matter? The time is just too short.
Like running into him. I don't think they realize quite where he is. Oh, gets him. Deathstar kind of saves it. He gives his team a fighting chance. They have about 30 seconds to push back. There's 40 seconds right now, but they need some respawners as well. The second point is going to get capped for sure. Ghosty, he needs some help from some respawners, but they're going to have about 30 seconds to push out here and push all the way back to last.
Yeah, I don't think that's possible at this point. Like the moment they lost that mid was pretty much what secured the deal for the Chat Foundation. It was really close though. And as I said before the game, I anticipated this to be a really close match, and it was. Why are they just
standing on last? I don't get it. They're holding last with the sniper. Why? Do they get points for not losing as much?
Maybe they don't see the time.
Is it 2 halves?
No. It's over.
I don't get it, man. Alright, like, they had like a 2% chance to win or something, but that's better than 0. So they were just standing on last. I don't get it. Yeah, in that situation, you definitely want to just push out, right? Like, let's get some spawners, push out, do a Hail Mary, just stack everyone onto the point and hope everyone on their team are just gonna feed into you and panic or something. Like, you gotta give yourself a chance to win. But
I may be wrong about this, but I think you do get more score if you just don't lose as much. But anyway, the end result is still the same. Tiny Turtle do lose 1-2. To the Chat Foundation. Chat Foundation picking up the first map. Sunshine does go into their favor. And so now Product will be the next map, but we want to look at logs?
Yeah, sure. I've got them open.
Right, do we have the logs on? Let's see.
Alright, sick. Yeah, that is some really strong play there from the top 2 damage dealers. They have 10 deaths each, Polar Bear, Aziper, both going 27 for 10 and 24 for 10. And then Aziper having all the assists in the world. He has 19 assists. That's a lot. That's more than his medic. And then his fellow scout actually has 22 assists and 24 kills. So they're really strong. Just work from them. So it looks like this might just be a matter of the scouts outclassing. One pair of scouts outclassing the other one. And this isn't quite as close as it looks. I think it was pretty much a dominating performance, or at least it was all under control in favor of the Chat
situation
league.
Was under control.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I have to say that Luro Polar Bear did do a lot for the team. The stats do say some of it though, but I really do commend that one play, killing that medic while he was 91% as they were pushing in. That may have been the reason why they didn't win 2-2 on this map. But looking at one that really does have a bit of a polarizing difference is the medic stats. Takuto only died 4 times, whereas Cyan died 10 times. In the first place, dying 4 times as a medic just is really impressive, but dying significantly less than the other medic is just speaks so much more for your team's performance, and I think it really reflects in the heal percentage as well. Takuto did heal 1,000 more than Cyan, but most importantly, he had so many more Ubers than Cyan did.
Yeah.
That is a huge difference.
Yeah, and like only actually four of those are actually mid fights, right? Pretty much. No, three of them because the medic survived one of them. But basically, the mid fights, he was really good at surviving those, and then he would just surf around and survive, and then the enemy medic died, and then he got an extra Uber out of it that way. And that happened a lot, even in the last round, where like sure they lost mid, but they won the re push. Like they won it on second basically, so that's almost a mid fight as well. So just
Yeah,
there.
a lot of it we can also attribute to the scouts as well, because well, obviously scouts protect the medic a lot, and when you have someone like Asipro in your team who just hits every shot, I think you're gonna die less as a medic anyway. So that's also one thing that really did help Chat Foundation secure that one map into their favor. But as we analyze more logs, way more kills for our Chat Foundation, and this is what I also think. I think Chat Foundation do have not way better, but they do have slightly better DM than their opponents, right? That was why they were able to win so many repushes, even though they were down heals, they were down players or something, or even that one time where they just completely halted that one push just by spamming that choke super hard. Well, that doesn't really require DM, but it just goes to show that I think that the entire team play of the Chat Foundation in that DMing department, I think really does shine so much more over tinyturtle, as they're able to work off so much more over each other's damage and well their plays, and so that I think the kills also do reflect onto them on their team as well.
It does seem like there's a much more cohesive game plan going on from the Chat Foundation. But, if there's one thing that really sticks out to me in these logs, especially going into this next map, is that Apples and Spiky both had pretty low damage, low kill games, and like Spiky especially died 20 times as well.
Oh yeah.
Right, and we're going into Product or Viaduct, which is just the biggest scout map in the game. And is Apple a good sniper, or am I just making this up?
Well, he's not known for his sniping, but then again, no one in this server is really known for being a good sniper in Prem. Everyone's just they're good enough to be a Prem sniper, but no one's just so freakishly good that you just don't even peek him at all because you don't want to be in his next frag movie or something. But
Right.
but looking at these
Okay.
teams, I don't think we will see much sniper though, because I'm very sure that both teams are more soldier centric on product. They prefer to have the space created by the soldier bombs and all the distraction caused by just soldiers up in the skybox over the fact that a sniper that can open up sightlines might also be attributed to the fact that well they don't have a freakishly good sniper that can cause fear in your opponents before the game starts or something.
Yeah, Asiper actually did do really well on Sniper when he played it. He didn't play it a whole lot, but he was very good when he actually did it. So maybe he's feeling himself. And with a lot of players, Sniper is one of these things where you play it if you feel like it, and you have an on day. You just go, yeah. Well, I mean, if I just hit everything, there's no counter to me in the game. So if I
Just
just have a
headshot
day
them.
where I hit everything, just play that. So we might see Asiper actually play that a little bit, but yeah, you're probably right that they'll just run cookie cutter for the most part. It's I don't know. In Europe especially, it's very normal to just flex one soldier onto
Yeah.
or one scout, and then just like you just have make sure you have two scouts at all times, and then if you have a sniper, it's a soldier that ends up. If you have a soldier that plays sniper, that's optimal. But sometimes you'll see scout mains run one sniper, and then you just have a soldier swap onto scout.
Yeah,
So
I think it's just gonna boil down the most to whether or not Shad Foundation think a scout is more valuable or a sniper, because well clearly based on the previous map we know that Asiper is their main sniper, and also that he might be the best sniper in their team. So the thing is that he's on scout as well, so maybe they just don't want to play sniper because he's so much more valuable in scout. But then speaking of snipers, what if they just counter a sniper by looking up, huh?
That's true, right? You just look up and you do like 360s, and there's literally
And
no
call
way.
medic.
Yeah, and I was saying there was no counter. It's so simple, you guys. You just have to like install not a spin bot, but just something that will spin your aim around, like a panic button, right?
Yeah.
Like, you know that's a real thing. Like they're like script for that, and they're completely illegal. You know, as long as they don't help you aim. So
EU
yeah,
down,
just do
dude.
that.
Just run.
It's
Just look up and EU gimmicks. Well, not EU gimmicks, but EU snipers are just totally nullified. But we are going to the next map, product, and we are going live. So product always a really fun map to watch because it's Koth, and Koth has no time to wait for stalemates. The timer's always ticking. So now let's see what Ghosty does on this mid.
is it
And
first
he
to
looks.
three?
It's first to 3, yes.
Okay.
And Ghosty going to go and roll out through his right side of his perspective. Immediately gonna get forwarded by his scout and some damage done onto him, but he's still fully buffed and just doing so much just throwing out so many projectiles across to the enemy's part of the point. And 2 players gonna go down, both soldiers gonna go down for Chad Foundation. This might be the mid for tinyturtle, as no soldiers does mean that they can't really do much for the rest of the players, and they are already backing out, and the medic's literally at their spawn, guys. I'm pretty sure this is going to be a 4-man sack because the Ubers are even. Maybe not.
I think they're just going to go for a push. They might even go for the pyro, but so far 2 soldiers have gone in. They actually get the 1 soldier, get the other one as well. This is a really good push in right now. You can see like the blue medic, he was unwilling to actually just use the Uber right now. Now the demo man's going to jump in very aggressive so he can get the medic. So far he has not been able to find him, and this has just turned into a mess. And it will be tinyturtle popping first, and still no Uber coming out right now for our Chads.
Yeah, well, the big thing here is that Takuto has full Uber advantage, and it's just tinyturtle who has to do something about it because, well, they do have the point as well. And as I say that, oh man, cheeseburger without cheese bombing in solo and actually getting the force. That's something you really don't want to happen if you're the Chad Foundation.
Absolutely, that was a really bad situation, Salvage. So now we're in a pretty even situation right now, and the soldier comes in and even does a ton of damage. This is really nice. Viaduct is one of those maps where it seems like chip damage adds up the most over time. And look at this, just the fact that the medic has to, at least whenever I play medic, oh, soldier comes in onto the medic. Can he airshot him? No, not quite. So there's going to be a cap. But like on Viaduct, I feel like more than any other map, I don't have enough heals to give out on medic.
Yeah.
Like you never see a scout like Boston Basher building or anything, right? Because you're just constantly low on heal. You're constantly healing someone who's weak. So it's definitely one of the maps where if you just do like 100 damage and hits a random pipe or something, that can just completely carry an entire fight because it just means that someone else isn't getting those heals.
Yeah, and Chad Foundation do have a sizable Uber at here. It was 40%, but now he has trimmed it down to just 30. But they are walking directly straight into the faces of the enemy combo. They aren't able to get anything out of it though, other than the fact that they actually picked up 2 soldiers off of that. Asapa does go down trying to chase off of his territory, but while 2 soldiers are down for tinyturtle, that means that while tinyturtle do have full Uber ad, they can't push just yet, and that's gonna buy Chad Foundation just a bit of time as they can run down the clock little bit more. But full Uber this ad for the Chad Foundation.
Ghosty gets picked off by Rabbit, who runs into a sticky trap. That's a really big deal. Rabbit, he's kind of caught in quite a bit. He's actually going to get picked off. The Uber comes in with the very tail end of that and just picks him off. But 2 scouts just managed to chew up some other people. Might just be 2 scouts just trying to see if they can take down an entire enemy team. I think that's a little too over eager right now, and yeah, they're gonna back off into the corner and just wait for some respawners to come in and help them there. So this midpoint continues to just change hands, but this soldier forward, cheeseburger without cheese, gets completely caught out and blindsided by a soldier. He's gonna go so weak, but he will survive. But the rest of the team has been completely pushed back here.
Why is everyone dying? For Chad Foundation, they're just dying to long-range rocket spam. And now Andre coming in with the bomb, poking off the rock, but not gonna find anyone. And and the Chat Foundation are forced to pop up that Uber to try to just not, well, to get something, but not gonna get anything out of it. They did basically pop the Uber for nothing, and now Tiny Turtle
still
60%. Oh, two players down for Chat Foundation as well.
Yeah, they need to be so careful, right? Because Death Star's still behind. That means that if they retreat the wrong way, they're just going to run into his loving arms, and he's just going to put some rockets in the ground and put them into heaven. So, yeah, they definitely just need to get out. They have actually decided to run a sniper right now, so we'll get to see that. And actually, the medic is super weak right now.
Yeah, he did get bombed by Cheeseburger, I'm pretty sure. And he did manage to get out of his life as well, so 3 damage for his logs, hooray. But now sniper on China, that's a very dangerous spot for the China. For a sniper, I mean. He just sees everything over there. And so now the soldiers are just forced to hide in the corner, they don't want to get headshot. And now everyone on Chat Foundation actually just playing so passively. The medic's gonna get gunned down by Spiky, who just flanks in from behind. And Asper does pick him up, but 2 players are down for the Chat Foundation, and the medic is included in that as well. Now everyone just collapsing.
The drop though from Catface, that could be a really big deal. The second scout, he gets the kill as well. Cheeseburger, he's so weak.
Oh, it's a salvage. Oh wow, they do salvage it. I thought Chat Foundation was definitely gonna lose it, but the drop of the medic did contribute a lot to that.
Hakuna just died again.
Flip.
Dead start. That's really big. Spiky, he's kind of caught in here, but yeah, now they have the medic fight, and the counter has reached 0, so that means that if they just cap the points, the round is over. So they're just going to take their time. They have about a minute to do it, so they just need to make their way in. They even have a small Uber advantage as well if they want to do that, but they can just take a normal fight and take that, and they're going to be good to go. So things are definitely looking to be in the favor of Tiny Turtles right now.
Oh, a big collapse. Everyone on Chat Foundation is going into the faces of the combo, but none of them are able to get much out of it. It's just Death Star who goes down in all of that chaos, and now Polar Bright also trying to get something. He bombs in, but does get cleaned up, and it's just Wabbit left alive. Can he pipe it? Oh, that was winnable, I would say. Both scouts were 20 and 17 health respectively, but the mid...
Yeah, that's a lucky roller.
well, not mid, but the round going to go to Tiny Turtle and 1-0 in product.
Yeah, that's really surprising, right? They actually, the soldiers right now that have really stepped up, they seem to be doing so much work. They started with an air shot on mid, and then just continued for them to jump behind.
Oh, both soldiers are actually, from both sides, both soldiers are jumping behind the enemy teams. And well, they try to do stuff, but they can't really do much. And it's just Cyan. Well, Cyan's gonna be alive, so does Takuto, but it's just so chaotic on this mid. I don't even know what to focus on. Well, somehow everything just unfolded into Chat Foundation winning out, and yeah, they do get the first cap.
I think Chat Foundation kind of sticking around on middle, playing together, and just having their medic pump a bunch of heals into them. I think that ended up being where it really settled it. Everyone else from Tiny Turtles were a bit too spread out there on that mid, so they ended up being edged out. But the medic did survive, so it's an even Uber-ish. They actually have a small advantage, but they should know about it. So this is just going to be an Uber fight right now, and it is looking real bad for Tiny Turtles right now. They lost 2 players, and they're probably going to have to just get out here and maybe do a suicide.
Yeah, and the medic
wave.
might even have to force here as well. He's getting chased by so many players. He drops to soldier or scout. Oh man, that was just just unlucky for the medic, man. Like they lost 2 players so early on, and then he needed to get out there, but he just couldn't. So,
yeah, he didn't see the soldier above him, and I think it was like a slight sync rocket, like not a really heavy one, but it was definitely somewhat synced up, so he didn't manage to react in time. And actually, Uber is going to get forced out here. They were doing a forward hold, and they get a bunch of kills, that's for sure. But they actually also lost 2 players, so this was a really successful, like what do you call it, like a forward hold break right now for them. They even have a cheeseburger without cheese behind. And he's gonna
MGE. He's gonna MGE in this enclosed type play. Oh, he manages to get quite good damage, but nothing else other than that. But while he was distracting basically the entire flank, the entire combo just walks up and just caps it. And Loro just coming in with that huge bomb, but Cyan does make it out alive, and he has a huge ad they can play off on.
It's really surprisingly just how well Tiny Turtles are doing right now in these fights. They always seem to just maybe it's just the fact that there's this time limit that they just need to go, and that somehow just helps their decision making and just the team cohesion. And they actually get the Uber Force out of them right now by these soldiers. They're trying to get their medic up on cliff. That's a pretty unusual spot to place your medic, and maybe we're seeing a little bit why. It's pretty easy to get a soldier onto you, and when you're up on that cliff and you can jump by a soldier, you're right next to a wall. So yeah, there's not a whole lot you can do other than actually just pop the Uber. So yeah, he's gonna do that, and it's gonna be a really easy push out here coming out for the Chads.
Yeah, thanks to that successful form and sack, they were able to get that full Uber ad. So now the Chad Foundation are able to finally play the game. And so now with this Uber ad, they are able to actually just scare off everyone on Tiny Turtle to just leave the point and let them cap it for free. And now Tiny Turtle don't want to give this up. The soldiers are gonna bomb in, they're trying to create space. They're onto the face of Takuto, but he's surfing so well. He doesn't even take any damage, he wasn't even a surf technically. But now players are dropping like flies for the Chad Foundation, and everyone just going down so low. Takuto has to pop Uber on Webbit, and it's such a bad Uber. Everyone else just has to go down. And that Uber is basically wasted, and they didn't even get the cap.
Yeah, they lost everything, right? Like, they didn't lose their make, but they lost Uber, they lost players, and they lost the point. It doesn't get a whole lot worse than that. So it's a really unfortunate situation for them. So they're just going to have to come out here with no advantages at all. They're going to be pushing into an Uber, and the soldier can he actually get the medic? Oh, he didn't quite have the rockets for it, but yeah, I think they were trying to go for like a mass suicide, and they get the force out. That was a bit of a pussy pop there.
Well, I was about to say that Tiny Turtle were in such good position, such good place to play in with that 1 minute on the timer and have full Uber advantage. That would have been so advantageous for them, but their force coming in really clutch. And so now Tiny Turtle have to play against the full Uber disad. And Chad Foundation walking out from their main, and they look like they're gonna pop this Uber out. Not yet, they're not gonna pop it out just yet, but Ghosty is lobbing so many stickies and pipes onto that combo, but none of them connect. But so much aggression by the Chad Foundation just get the cap for free, and they still have their Uber ad.
Yeah, and they're only about 15 seconds behind, so the point is taken down, and they're getting a smaller advantage right now. It looks like Tiny Turtles, they're gonna go up these stairs. So it's usually a pretty bad spot to push from because you can spam down, and yeah, you really see that right now. Yeah. The coordinated spam is just so good coming out from the Chad Foundation. Like, that's really strong play from them. It's completely forcing them down, and oh my god, some really nice pipe from Goku. That's gonna kind of save the situation. Uber has popped out now though.
But the consequence of playing from pushing in from that tiny choke is that they took so much damage that the Uber was basically slashed onto the scout for so long that no one else got the Uber, and Deaths are going to go down as a result of that. But players are down. Even though players are down for Chad Foundation, the timer has 5 seconds left. Tiny Turtle are forced to push onto this point against their will, even though they don't have any kind of aggression or any players. But now they do have the scout advantage, just pushing into that combo, and that one extra scout just able to deter everyone on Chad Foundation to just leave. And they were able to get the flip onto the point. 30 seconds left, but they have to hold it for the entirety of 30 seconds. Otherwise, they are going to lose.
Indeed. Luckily for them, they do have a slight Uber advantage. This is one of the few situations where a 7% Uber advantage could actually matter. So they're just going to have to hold on as much as they can. And that was just all Ghosty holding it off right there. He got a nice Uber trap onto the enemy demo, and then got some good pipes as well. But here comes the big push in. This is going to be so close. And the Uber advantage now, they have the Uber right now, but they're not pushing in yet. But they have to block this point.
93%. Exactly as you said. 7% Uber was literally the difference between them winning and just not, maybe just tying it up. So 7% Uber. Yeah. Hakuto just didn't have it. Just at 7%.
Yeah, everyone died, and they didn't even focus the medic. They just killed all his Uber targets, and then he was just kind of left saddened at the end there. So that's going to be 2-0. So Tiny Turtles really turning it around. They got dominated pretty hard in the first map, but now they're just poised to take this map 3-0. What a turnaround.
Yeah, and Megu is going to play off so much of that soldier aggression. So much space created. The medic's up in the sky. He's going to get airpad by Megu. Oh my god. That was such a sick shot. And they're going to get so many kills off of that. Takuto did die to a soldier from somewhere as well, but damn, that was just so well played by Chad Foundation. Gonna pick up everyone on the team. It's just Apples left alive onto that on their spawn. There's nothing much that he can really do at this point. And now Chad Foundation are gonna be able to hold onto this first mid.
Yeah, they win the mid, as we were used to seeing on the first map, but both medics died, so it's even Ubers, and they're just gonna do a pretty normal push. Like, we see that the medic is in super deep. He actually took a random pipe or rocket or something, but he's pretty weak. So this is just an all-out DM fight. It's basically mid-fight Pod deux, and looks like it's gonna be completely even so far. I can't pick a winner. Finally do see a slight advance coming up for the Chad Foundation. Looks like everyone else has been pushed back. Demo man going down, that's definitely going to settle that. So that was basically just a second mid fight almost.
Yeah, it's really difficult for tinyturtle to just do anything, because the threat of that Uber just going to kill all of them basically forced that medic to just not play really far forward, right? And so that meant very little heals for the players who were in front and dying, so everyone died. But now we do see Uber advantage, even Ubers I mean, for both sides. And so now finally tinyturtle have a fighting chance to go against their advantage. So even advantages for both sides. Lots of damage coming out onto Asper. He's gonna go down to Ghosty's pipes, and Lure is also going to go down to Cheeseburger without cheese, and they are able to get the flip just based on that 2 kills. But looks like Chad Foundation don't want to give this up, but they are not too far forward. At the same time, they are not completely out. They're just so stuck in that one little corner. Something disastrous might happen for them, and they're gonna lose a demo man as well. The scout's gonna go down, the medic's at 70 health, and this is just so bad for the Chad Foundation. But
yeah,
the good thing is that they have the
that
time.
week is super uncomfortable, right? Because that's one of those where, oh, if you don't see a soldier, he's just going to drop you. But they're actually just going to go in for the Uber exchange right now. And they do get the Uber exchange out. He is grabbed onto a scout, so he will be able to get out alive as well. But the Uber was definitely better for Tiny Turtles, and they're just going to push everyone back. Looks like no one will really get picked off. Only a single guy. A scout comes in from the side there. That Spiky takes down another scout. But oh my god, Death Star comes in from above, just rains down death. And that might just be it. He's behind right now. If the medic just rotates into him, okay.
Ooh, good serve.
Yeah.
He did surf out to guarantee safety, but Death Star's coming from behind. They don't know he's there. He's gonna get 1 rocket. The medic's like 5 health right there. That was a monka ass.
that could have gone wrong so many times. Like, if he had run off like the wrong way, he would have just backed right into him. As it was, he ran the other way, and he surfed the rocket really well. But then the second round came in. So yeah, this is really close. Actually, Ghosty gets a nice sticky trap coming in here, so that's gonna definitely help his team. So there's a ton of pressure on this point, and they're actually just gonna lose it. Looks like they're not really comfortable taking it. They might just want to wait for the Uber. They might think they have an Uber advantage, but as it is, it's completely even.
Yeah, and it was a really good job by tinyturtle to just stall out the time for so long. They basically brought it from 3 minutes down to 1 minute and 20, and now it's just tied up for both sides. Well, Chad Foundation did come out really strong, but now tinyturtle look like they're really dominant this time. And so now, lots of positioning for tinyturtle. The soldiers are just on the high ground doing so much damage, spamming rockets from above. And Chad Foundation are just sitting so far back passively, and well, in their favor, because they did get the flip. But now tinyturtle did bomb so many players onto the medic, but he didn't even get into half of his health, and now everyone is just gonna collapse.
Okay. Oh, he popped on nothing. This is really bad. Like, they sent in both of those soldiers, and then they didn't immediately run out, and then they got forced, and it just didn't work out. So that was a pretty bad play right there. Like, just a bad team play. They need to really just talk to each other whenever they go for these kind of big bomb-ins, because if not, you're going to get punished really hard. And now they're going to have to just push into this team that has Uber advantage. And they're running out of time, so they're just going to have to do it anyway.
Yeah, there's 15 seconds left on the clock, and they just lost Spiky. That's not going to be very good for them. Plus, they have to go against a Uber. I think this is quite guaranteed for the Chad Foundation, unless something miraculous happens, which I really doubt. Takuto can literally just pop onto the point right now, and they can't even do anything about it. Well, it doesn't stop tinyturtle from trying though, but the Uber's gonna come out, and as I said, they pop the Uber on the point and just everyone gets collapsed on, and Chad Foundation gonna pick up 1 round, finally bringing down to a more even scoreline and to 2-1.
Yeah, That was just basically a bit of a bad coordination there, sending in those two soldiers and then just allowing the medic to get popped. And there was not even a scout with him when he popped it, so he just had to wait around there. So that even things up, and we got another mid fight on our hands.
Oh, going to go. Those two players are gonna go down. Lurl and Asiper, two players down for the Chat Foundation. That's gonna be a really good start for them, as this is gonna be them just sitting on the back foot and NGE session. Ooh, Polar Bear, 29 health, might have gone down there, but did not go down. And so now Chat Foundation do have a chance in fighting this, even though it's even Ubers and even players, but they do have to go because tinyturtle did flip that point during that exchange. And well, looks like they are walking up. Death Star's gonna jump into China, but does go down. Doesn't really bring anything much to his team.
Runs into a sticky trap though. That's a really big deal. Demoman is such a big damage dealer in these fights, and he shows it immediately. Just takes one down. They actually get the Uber Force out. If Takuto can actually get out right now, he is on a scout. Yeah, they're gonna make it out. Well, they're so far forward. I don't know what this scout was doing. James time, a bit too aggressive right there. And now the Demoman's gonna get taken down. Oh man, they just need to actually run out in time. Just to see the writing on the wall. That's not even gonna take down Smile, I think. And that was just again just a bit of a not quite conservative enough play. I feel like it's kind of like, all right, we pop the Uber. They have a lot more players than us. Let's just get out. That should just be the thought process. But otherwise, it's just like, okay, we are out of immediate danger.
And Chat Foundation do have full Uber ad right now. It's down to half, but they are onto the point. And oh no, Ghosty with a clever trap. He picks up Takuto and drops his Uber. And now everyone on Chat Foundation is just dropping. Everyone's trying to do something, but well, the only one who has done something is Webby, because he picks up
Scout on the medic.
3 players. Well, that was a really good salvage by the Demoman. And now Webby's gonna come back in again. He brings Cyan down to so low. He's 30 health and 80% Uber, but Webbit not gonna be able to get the cleanup, and so well done by Ghosty there to drop the medic.
It's a scout behind, and it's a scout, which means he's so hard to hit. All right, finally he gets taken down, but Uber does actually come out. I think the medic, no, he probably popped the save himself. It looked like he popped the save his Demoman, but that was definitely not the case. Soda's actually gonna get just spotted there by Spiky, but Spiky didn't hit his first shot.
Oh, Luro might go down there. Luro's 5 health. He's so lucky he doesn't die there. Okay, all skill. It's all skill.
All skill. Well, he's so good. He's so good.
Yeah, Chat Foundation are pushing with a 20% ad, but they did lose both of their scouts. That's not gonna be pushable at this point. Can't really play product without the scouts, but they are still gonna try. And Smiley is gonna do a bomb in, try to get something, but nothing on his own other than damage, and he's gonna clean up that stuff with the help of Wabbit. But Luro also jumping in, but not doing much. So now it's just even Ubers, but players are also even, but the thing that's not even is the time.
Indeed, it's quickly ticking down for Tiny Turtles, and it's not quite the panic time yet, but it's even Ubers, and they do have this big push in here. And looks like they're trying to walk forward and pop this Uber. There we go. They're gonna pop this Uber, and they should definitely be able to pop it out of Takuto, but no one's pressuring Takuto. Takuto's like literally on the point. He's just gonna cap it out with a scout, and no one's even pressuring him. This is so weird. Everyone else just jumped behind. I think they just assumed that he would retreat, but he didn't. But they're actually getting a ton of kills right now, so now he's gonna get points.
He's getting focused down by the scout, and he does force out the Uber, but it's so bad for Tiny Turtle. They're so caught out of position. They managed to get out that medic and the scout, but Ghosty did die now. Oh, that's so much damage. They're gonna bring down Apples as well, and everyone's just stuck in this choke. They're trying to get out right now, but they gotta get out before they get all the respawns. But yeah, they do walk out at the tiny choke point, and lots of damage onto the combo. That's so
weak.
That's gonna be so bad for Chat Foundation, with everyone just down to double digits and into the red. They're gonna lose 2 players as well. This is gonna be like a free flip for Tiny Turtle, and it's not gonna be good for Chat Foundation because there's no advantage for them, and they have 30 seconds to win this to flip the point. Otherwise, they're gonna lose this map.
Yeah, and they actually have a slight Uber disadvantage as well, so they're gonna have to just wait a little bit before they go in. And their medic is weak as well, and he can't even go down. Oh no, Demoman gets a pipe. No, sorry, that was a scout. That's really important.
That's not good. The medic Cyan did drop his scout right there. That might be the thing that...
He's in the skybox. He's behind.
He's flying onto Mars, boys. He's running behind the
Behind him,
medic.
he's coming up onto the medic. He's trying to just arrow him down. That's such a weird situation. Alright, so he's going to be down for a really long time now, and no one's going to have any heals. They might just do a suicide wave while they wait for their medic. Probably
Yeah,
not.
they do have the time as well. There's 1 minute left for them. And they have all the time to do in the world to do a sack wave, to try to force out, and then push afterwards. That's enough time for them to do a lot of that. But they don't look like they're going to do that. They're just going to walk onto the point with the entirety of the combo, try to see if they can just win off this Uber fight. The medic though, he's going to eat 2 pipes to the face before the fight even starts. That's not going to be good for them. But
yeah, but they
players...
lost their own medic though, so I mean this does open up the door for like a dry push, but definitely losing your medic there is not really optimal. He was in very deep and he walked up the stairs, which we've already established is like a very easily spammable spot. Like if you want to get out alive, that's not really where you're going. So I think it was just a push to get it out. Kind of like all-to-do logic right there. You know, just go in, everyone dies, and then you come back in.
We are seeing a sniper on tinyturtle on the last fight ever in this game. Well, it's basically a match fight, but well, it looks like they're gonna run a sniper for this. No, so far not going to do much. The medic's gonna go down, the soldier's gonna go down as well. Everyone is so low. It's just that Star left alive behind the team. He's not gonna be able to do much at this point. Let's see what he can do. Nah, nothing. Yeah, that was just really close, but Chad Foundation just doing so well to bring it down to match point.
Yep, it's both teams. They've definitely had their share of bad Ubers, and it seems to me like it's a lot of committing your medic when you don't need to. Like both teams have definitely suffered from doing this, where like they send in suicides, but then they also have their medic in, so there's almost no point in it. So let's see if we can get who's gonna win this epic fight.
Oh wow, huge bomb by Lero going all the way behind with the China, but that star was right there. He was trying to bomb, but you came into his face, so he'll just take it. Now everyone on Chat Foundation so low, they're just 1 hit away from dying, and the medic included as well, but he does make up with his life. But during that process, gonna lose his demo man and his scout, and Lero trying to bomb in as well, but doesn't get anything, and everyone on Tiny Turtle makes it out alive with a 1-player ad.
They're even going to go for the forward hold right here. So far, we haven't seen a whole lot of success with forward holds. Like everyone's just kind of run through and then they just destroy them. But let's see if a proper setup right now. Like this is the perfect forward hold setup, like completely textbook. It can be very difficult to deal with. But it looks like we have the smiling sea beacon. Oh, there we go. That's how you break it. But you know, you do probably need some help. And yeah.
Well, he tried, but nothing. And Hakuna is actually so low.
Yeah, how did that happen? Was that just spam?
Well, there's no other way it would happen, but yeah, Pyro tried to do that, but nothing happened out of the Pyro. He's gonna go back to Scout though this time. They might be opting to go for a trade right here. Looks like they're just gonna bombard the enemy combo with players, and they do get the force up, but they trade out Ubers while they were 1 player down. This may or may not be good for them, and everyone's just trying to aggress. Megu though, a bit too aggressive right there. Going down to that soldier, it's just a failed push.
Yeah, it was definitely just a very deliberate decision to actually go for the Uber trade right there. Like medic wasn't trying to get out at all. He was just waiting around the corner, just waiting for a good opportunity to pop. But unfortunately, they didn't quite manage to win out in the DM fight. It's a Tiny Turtle. They're stepping up their own DM. Soda's going to try and see if he can jump behind. And so far, he is making a bunch of space. People are running behind him, and now they're getting time onto the point themselves. And there we go. They're not going to lose with the 3 minutes remaining on the clock, that's for sure. But Tiny Turtles, they have a lot of time on them right now, and
yeah,
Ubers are pretty even as well.
They took half of that timer. That's crucial when you're in match point like this. So even Ubers for both sides, it's just going to be onto Tiny Turtle to see if they can do a really good push, because it's on them since they don't have the point. And now a big bomb going to come off our Cheeseburger though. Cheese, but gets denied by Polar Bear. Just shoots him out of that sky, and Jame Time trying to aggress, but does go down. Smiley though also going to go down. Now everyone's just dropping for Chat Foundation. Polar Bear might get caught out here as well. He does make it out, but he's so low he's basically out of the fight. But
this milk right now for Takudo is so good. Like he should have been dead like at least 4 times, but he just surfed everything and just dodged so expertly. So now they're gonna pop it. This demo man, he is not long for this one. He's gonna get taken down. Can Cyan actually make it out alive? Yep, he is out. So he just needs to not die. So he's just way out in choke. And that was a really good move coming out there from Takuto. And that was a really good fight for him. And looks like they might try to go for board hold, but it was only a single soldier. He's gonna get picked off, so he was just overextending. And that's the thing about forward holds. It's only a forward hold if you have a bunch of players with you.
Yeah, Death Star gonna try to go behind, trying to cause some distraction for his team to walk forward. Now everyone's just pinched out right here. They have to look both directions before they can cross the road. Takuto's gonna go down so low. He's in house, but he jukes out Death Star so well. He's alive and he doesn't even lose his Uber. And while everyone's gonna go down for Chat Foundation, but at the very least, the silver lining is that the Ubers are even for both sides. And that's all thanks to Takuto juking your Death Star so well in house.
He's playing out of his mind right now. Like, he's playing so well. Just perfect movement and decision making right now. So if his team can just play with him, they're going to be in really good position. Actually, we see Catface there being really aggressive. Somehow manages to not get forced in that situation.
Oh,
but
no!
Takuto! I talked him up so much, and now he just gets a meat shot by a scout just perfectly. You know, can't dodge these rockets because they're a hit scan, baby. And that was just a scout knocking him down. The Uber has been forcing the other one. That was a nice shot there from Cheeseburger without cheese. That's going to be a really strong mid here coming off the Tiny Turtles. And they are looking really strong. Even get the Demo Man. That's going to just slow things down so much.
Might even get a Scout as well. The Scout is just so low. He's caught out of position. And he's getting shot at by a Scout. He does go down. That's so bad for Chat Foundation. They have 20 seconds to flip this. And they don't have anything to work off of them. They even need to wait for that Scout to respawn. This is just so bad. This is not very good for Chat Foundation right now. They're trying to walk him through that tiny ass choke. But the Rabbit's gonna go down so low. Now everyone has to pop on that, to stand on that cap, but well, no one's contesting them from doing it. The Scout's gonna get this cap. They almost get the cap.
Oh, they didn't cap it. They didn't cap it though. Almost capped, not capped. And they just come in there with the Uber and everything, just cleans everything up. There's going to be a bunch of time here because they almost capped the point, so it needs to just drain all the way down. Scout gonna knock a soldier silly with his club there, but that's going to be it. Tiny Turtles turns it around after losing the first map pretty convincingly, 2-1. I know that doesn't sound right, but it wasn't that close, 2-1. It was a very convincing 2-1 in favor of the Chat Foundation, but they come back on the second map, going up 2-0 very quickly, and then although a comeback was brewing, they managed to just hold on in the last round, and they make it 3-2 in that one, and that's going to be overall 1-1 in maps. So you were right; it was a very closely contested series right here.
Yeah, the reverse sweep was there. It was close within grasp, but just so close, but yet so far, and it's gonna be that match is gonna end up with 1-1 for both teams, and well, at the very least, nobody lost both rounds, right? At least he tied off. But I think either team would have really wanted to win right there. This would have been the easiest, the most possible matchup for them to get a easy point there, winning that one map. But the match results are there, and the game is over.
Yeah, well, it's a harsh game, man. Like Takuto was playing so well, and then he dropped, and they lost the round. Yeah. It's tough, man.
Well, now to look at logs, I'm looking at I know that currently we're looking at the highest damage, but I'm just looking at apples, man. What the hell are those stats? 33-7. That's insane. That's
good.
He's just those stats are actually really rare. Well, not rare, but they're so good.
Single-digit deaths. He had less than either medic.
Yeah, that's really impressive.
Yeah, it's just that's a pocket scout for you. Like, just never dies. He's just water, and just doing a ton of damage as well.
Plus spiky as well. Well,
yeah,
in the first map, both scouts on Tiny Turtle weren't really doing that well in terms of just stats, right? The stats weren't really weren't very outstanding, but coming in the product just shows you how good scouts are in this map. You give them the heals, they give you these kind of stats: 30 frags and 33 frags. No one else has even broken the 30 frag barrier. Everyone is just below that, and I just find that really so good for Tiny Turtle. But now looking at the top damage, Ghosty He's gonna come out and with an edge over everyone else with 364 DPM. That's just a demo man life. I mean,
The
he didn't
damage
really
spread
stand
is
out.
actually
Doesn't stand out anywhere else but just the damage.
yeah, the damage spread is actually super close. Like the highest damage is 364 damage per minute, and the lowest is 283. That's really close. Like usually there's a much bigger spread, so that's pretty interesting to me. That it kind of goes to show that everyone was contributing and doing quite a lot of work, right? So that's why it was so close. And you know, personally, as far as I'm concerned, it was like Death Star and Cheeseburger that was like the big deal on this map. I thought that their plays was just what really opened up the map for their team. So, I mean, we see the damage on Death Star and we see the kills on Cheeseburger. So, yeah, that works out somewhat.
Yeah,
But, really fun play.
one thing that does sort of actually surprise me a bit is both medics actually had the same deaths. I don't actually see that very often, especially in product where they have less than 10 deaths. But they do have less than 8 they do have 8 deaths each, but 2 of the deaths of Takuto could have been avoided as he had Uber, right? Oh, at least 2
Well,
of
it's
them.
actually 2 on both. So,
Yeah.
it's in many ways very even. We have 16 charges on one on Cyan, and we have 13 on Takuto. So slight advantage there, but yeah, otherwise very even medic stats. It's like the same heals. Takuto has 1 heal per minute more than Cyan, so
Wow.
he's gonna have to step up there, right?
Well, that's the reason why they lost it, totally.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. I don't think there's worth even discussing that. That's just poor play.
Statistically proven.
Yeah, there you go. And even the heal spread is pretty similar. So Spiky got very few heals compared to the enemy team's scouts, but other than that, everything else is just completely even. And yeah, it's pretty interesting just how even it was. It probably like everything went really well those first 2 rounds for Tiny Turtle, and then we saw 2 really good rounds coming out from the Chat Foundation, and then the last one was just an all-out brawl. So extremely fun game.
Yeah, and product definitely a very DM heavy map. So with DM comes damage, and damage eventually you get kills, and of course the winning team will get more kills as Tiny Turtle do get 20 more kills than the Chat Foundation. But obviously, as they did win. But that is the end of of this week's cast for the Prem division. It's gonna go 1-2 in favor of the Chat Foundation and 3-2 on product for the Tiny Turtle.
Indeed. And I don't think we have interviews or anything else like that. So
No.
no. So we're just gonna say thank you guys all for watching. Do you have anyone you want to shout out, Evie, before we wrap it up here?
Shout out to Smiley living that Roma life, getting over 30 deaths each map. So yeah, Roma life.
It's for sure it's a great thing, and big thanks to you, Evie, for showing up. Literally, we just had to call you in the last second because of Conco's mic is bugging out. So thank you so much, dude, for coming in, and it was super fun to cast with you. I hope we can do it again sometime.
Yeah, my pleasure. I really do hope we can cast again as well.
Yeah, but that will have to be another week. So until the next time, thank you guys all for watching. We've been Peter, Evie, and Core. This was a very fun game, and there's going to be a lot more coming up in the future. So thank you for watching. Have a good night, or a good day, or a good morning, wherever you are. Good night, good day, good morning. See you then. Bye-bye.
Bye.